Hey third graders, it's Miss Bobo here, and I just wanted to read a little bit to you today from, our one and only Ivan. Let's catch up with old Ivan and see what's happening. The last time I read with you guys, Ruby, the baby elephant, has come to live there at the Big Top Mall with Ivan and Stella and Bob, all the little characters that we've met so far. And Ruby, is a baby, and remember, she was asking all kinds of questions, silly little questions about everything, because she's curious. She's a new baby, and she wants to know what's happening all around her. So now we're going to catch up with them and see what's going on. This part is called Children. Once I asked Stella if she ever had any babies. She shook her head. No, I never did. You would have been a great mother, I told her. Thank you, Ivan, Stella said, clearly pleased. I like to think so. Having young ones is a big responsibility. You have to teach them how to take mud baths, of course, and emphasize the importance of fiber in their diet. She looked away, contemplating. Contemplating means taking a situation or a thought and really thinking it through, looking at everything about that situation and thinking of all the things that could happen because of that. So when you contemplate something, you are in very deep thought. You are considering everything about that situation. Elephants are excellent at contemplating. I think the hardest part of being a parent, Stella added, would be keeping your baby safe from harm, protecting them. Hey, that's what your parents are doing right now with you all. Yeah. The way silverbacks do in the jungle, I said. Exactly, Stella nodded. You would have been good at protecting too, I said confidently. I'm not so sure, Stella said. I'm not so sure at all. Oh, come on, Stella. We think you would be a great mom, don't we, guys? All right, the parking lot is our next part. Mac and George are chatting while George cleans one of my windows. George, Mac says, frowning, there's something wrong with the parking lot. George sighs. I'll take a look as soon as I'm done with this window. What's the problem? There are cars in it. That's what's wrong. Cars, George. Mac breaks into a grin. I think things are actually starting to pick up a bit. It's gotta be the billboard. People see that baby elephant and they just have to stop and spend their hard-earned cash. Yeah, remember they're advertising that Ruby is now at the Big Top Mall? Mac is wanting to make some money, right? I hope so, George says. We sure could use the business. Mac's right. I have noticed more visitors coming since he and George added the picture of Ruby to the sign. People crowd around Ruby and Stella's domain, oohing and awing at the sight of such a tiny elephant. I gaze out at the huge sign that makes humans stop and spend their hard-earned cash. I have to admit that the picture of Ruby is rather cute, even if she doesn't look like a real elephant. Remember, they put that funny little red hat on her, that top hat, like a big circus man would have on. I wonder if Mac could add a little red hat and a curly tail to the picture of me. Now remember, who's telling this story? Ivan. So Ivan's thinking, ooh, maybe I'd look really good with a red hat and a curly tail myself. Maybe then more visitors would stop by my domain. I could use a few oohs and ahs myself. So I think Ivan's feeling a little left out right now. Okay, let's read another part called Ruby's Story. Ivan, tell me another joke, please, Ruby begs after the 2 o'clock show. I think I may have run out of jokes, I admit. A story then, Ruby says, Aunt Stella's sleeping, and there's nothing to do. Sound familiar? I tap my chin. I'm trying hard to think, but when I gaze up at the food court skylight, I'm mesmerized by the elephant-colored clouds galloping past. Ooh, mesmerized means you're really focused in and locked in on something. It's kind of cool and amazing to you. Ruby taps her foot impatiently. I know, I'll tell you a story, she says. A real live, true one. Good idea, I say. What's it about? It's about me. Ruby lowers her voice. It's about me and how I fell into a hole. A big hole. Humans dug it. Bob pricks his ears and joins me by the window. Remember, Bob is the dog. That's right. Bob pricks his ears and joins me by the window. I always enjoy a good digging story, he says. It was a big hole full of water near a village, Ruby says. I don't know why humans made it. Sometimes you just need to dig for the sake of digging, Bob says. We were looking for food, Ruby says, and my family and I, but I wandered off and got lost and went too close to the village. Ruby looks at me, eyes wide. I was so scared when I fell into that hole. Of course you were, I say. I would have been scared too. Me too, Bob admits, and I like holes. The hole was huge. Ruby pokes her trunk between the bars and makes a circle in the air. And guess what? She doesn't wait for an answer. The water was all the way up to my neck, and I was sure I was going to die. I shudder. What happened then? I ask. I'll tell you what happened, Bob says. They captured her and put her in a box and shipped her off, and here she is, just like they did with Stella. He pauses to scratch an ear. Humans. Rats have bigger hearts. Roaches have kinder souls. Flies have... No, Bob, Ruby interrupts. You're wrong. These humans helped me. When they saw I was trapped, they grabbed ropes and they made loops around my neck and my tummy. The whole entire village helped, even little kids and grandmas and grandpas, and they all pulled and pulled and... Ruby stops. Her lashes are wet. And I know she must be remembering all the terrible feelings from that day. And they saved me, she finishes in a whisper. Bob blinks. They saved you, he repeats. When I was finally out, everyone cheered. And the children fed me fruit, and then all those humans led me back to my family. It took the whole day to find them. No way, Bob says, still doubtful. It's true, Ruby says, every word. Of course it's true, I say. I've heard rescue stories like that before. It's Stella's voice. She sounds weary. Slowly, she makes her way over to Ruby. Humans can surprise you sometimes. An unpredictable species. Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens is the scientific word for humans. And so he thinks that we're kind of unpredictable guys, meaning that, they don't really know what we're going to do from one moment to the next, maybe. And so that's kind of the way Bob sees humans. Bob still looks unconvinced. But Ruby's here now, he points out. If humans are so swell, who did that to her? I send Bob a grumpy look. Sometimes he doesn't know when to keep quiet. Ruby swallows. and I'm afraid she's going to cry. But when she speaks, her voice is strong. Bad humans killed my family, and bad humans sent me here. But that day in the hole, it was humans who saved me. Ruby leans her head on Stella's shoulder. Those humans were good. It doesn't make any sense, Bob says. I just don't understand them. I never will. You're not alone, I say, and I turn my gaze back to the racing gray clouds. So now we're going to stop there today, but I want you to think about some of the things that we just heard there. And, you know, I think you can reflect on this and remember why maybe Ivan is feeling a little doubtful toward humans right now. Just take a little time to reflect on what you just heard today. And maybe talk to your parents about the story of Ivan. If they don't know about Ivan yet, just fill them in today. This might be a fun time to introduce them to Ivan the gorilla. And you know, if you go to the Atlanta Zoo webpage, you know, Ivan went there to live for a while. So you can show your parents, if they will let you go to the Atlanta Zoo page, maybe you can find out some cool information about the one and only Ivan there. Enjoy. I will read some more to you later on. Bye-bye.